Firmino and Sterling. Well, that's tough because obviously they play in slightly different roles.
Yeah.
So, the thing with Firmino, he can play as a perfect false nine. He can really drop into the midfield, pick up a ball, and then release Mane or Salah, whoever it may be on the wing. Whereas obviously with Sterling, you've got the real goal-scoring threat, the finishing ability, the pace. So it's tough to compare. But if I had to pick between one of them and that I had to have in a team, I think I'd go with Firmino. I think he's a lot more versatile. I think he offers a lot more. Obviously, now, like you said, if we're not looking at stats and purely based on the kind of impact that he has, I'd go with Firmino. I think he can control not only in the final third, but also in the midfield. He can actually almost play as like a number 10. Maybe doesn't have the creativity of your traditional number 10s like Bruno Fernandes or Kevin De Bruyne. But I think he would be my pick between those two.
Yeah, I kind of agree. I think Firmino is probably the definition of an impact player that isn't defined by stats.
Yeah.
Especially, I think the one from last season where he hadn't scored a single home goal, and then he got one right in the last game of the season, which kind of proves the point that his impact is really felt, but he might not be the best stat.
The question you have to ask is, why doesn't he get dropped then? If he's not impacting and his stats aren't showing it, why not drop him then?
Yeah.
But Klopp refuses to drop him because of the impact that he has.
Yeah. And he also has good, well, this is a stat thing, but he actually does have very good goal scoring records against, like, I think it's City, that he traditionally has scored a lot of goals against City. He just, for some reason, that's a game that he likes to come out and score goals.
He's certainly got big game temperament. Scored the winner against Tottenham.
100%.
Came out of nowhere.
100%.
And you could see how much it meant to him. I ran halfway across the pitch.
Yeah. Literally did a victory lap.
Yeah.
So
no, obviously he's missing out on not doing one last season for winning the title.
Yeah. So him being a false nine, do you think, now just throwing one into the mix, and this is now really comparing the stats versus someone who doesn't have the stats, would you pick Firmino or Bruno Fernandes?
Look, if you go based on the impact that Bruno has had now, if we're talking impact players, he's come into United and he's now brought something that they were lacking. And he's now changed that United team.
Yeah, he has.
So you're kind of looking at the short-term impact of Bruno as opposed to the long-term impact that Firmino's had for Liverpool. I mean, he's been one of the first names on the team sheet since he joined Liverpool. So that's a really tough question. I guess if you want to play him as a false nine, I'd go Firmino. But if you want to play him as an out-and-out number 10, I'd go Bruno.
So if you're building a futsal squad and you only have one attacker...
Firmino,
really?
all the way.
Okay, that's interesting. So I would put Bruno just because I think...
Because you're Portuguese.
Obviously. Obviously, I think he's a terrible player, but he's Portuguese, so I'll take him any day. No, I think Bruno, just purely based on the numbers he's been able to put down in terms of scoring goals, that does say something.
No, it does.
It does. But yeah, it's interesting because Firmino does have this X factor element about him that you'd never know when something's going to happen.
Well, that's the thing. And you don't know if his impact is going to be he makes a good tackle, which sets up a play.
Yeah.
Brilliant through ball, goal.
Yeah.
Goal himself.
Yeah.
That's the thing with Firmino, that you don't know what the impact's going to be until it happens.
And if he's hitting form, which you could assume he's now starting to hit form, at least goal scoring form, he then just adds so much value to that front attacking team, especially in Liverpool's case, because they've got goal scorers already in Mane and Salah. So having another one being Firmino, just, it's like, well, how much easier could life be, you know? But yeah, it is a tough one. So I think Bruno will edge it on this one.
I'll stick with Firmino. I'll stick with Bobby.